fact, we entirely expect that people who are vaccinated will still get COVID-19.
We need a great reset.
Although it's not visible to the eye, there's an omnipotent force that has a powerful effect on this nation of ours. Amplified by newspaper editors and talkback hosts, it's something that we find irresistible, even as it eats away at our very core. It has many names, but it's most commonly known as fear.
The frightened man first stands like a statue, motionless and breathless. The heart beats quickly and violently.
New Zealanders have been living in a state of almost constant fear. Everywhere in New Zealand, fear is in the air. For as long as we've had a broadcast media, they've had us almost perpetually petrified.
Generally, we know little about the criminal mind. Society is constantly at risk from the warped and the unhinged, for whom brutality may be only a thought away.
The camera never lies, so we believed it when the television cameras of the 1960s revealed a nation victimized by violent crime. Reconstructions brought home the threat. It was black and white. A nightmare in noir. Little wonder there were seemingly sane people crowing the cause of corporal punishment.
You've got to have something that's short and sharp and leaves an impression.
But we've never mungered scares quite like the ones we mungered during the 1980s.
Tonight on Faithfully Yours, we're the first of two programmes looking at a problem so horrible to contemplate that many choose to pretend it just doesn't exist.
An insidious paranoia took hold in Canterbury and had parents terrified, from a fearful Fairlie to a frightened Fendleton.
It's not clear whether the problem is greater in Canterbury than elsewhere in New Zealand, but what is known is that the incidence of sexual abuse of children here is at least as bad as anywhere else in the country. Here's Peter Dwan.
Children. Some people believe that they're our greatest resource. Others label them our greatest victims. This year in Canterbury, hundreds of children will be sexually abused, many by their fathers or by other members of their own families. The children will be psychologically scarred for the rest of their lives. Their innocence and their faith and trust in their own family and friends will be shattered.
Statistics were to blame. They were the harbinger of horrible mistruths.
We were told that up to 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 10 boys will be sexually abused by the time they're 16.
And although we now know the stats were wrong, the damage was well and truly done. And today, parental paranoia has reached giddy new heights, a condition known as boogeymanorexia neurosa. Some say we're too protective of our children these days. Others say you can't be too careful. It's hard to believe that we used to let kids walk to school on their own or ride bikes without stack hats. Indeed, life in New Zealand used to be carefree, fun and safe. But then in 1978, a panel of New Zealand's greatest minds revealed how even the humble Kiwi holiday could spell certain death.
Good evening, and welcome to the Holiday Survival Test. For the next hour and a half, we're going to subject you to a grueling quiz. But by the end of it all, you should be able to assess your chances of surviving the holiday season.
It was fear-inducing television that would have scared the bejesus out of the Son of God himself.
At this range, even a shotgun can blast a hole right through a human body.
Several terrible ways to die.
Here's what a direct hit would have done, and a near miss.
And question 2, a disaster that's becoming all too common.
These were holidays from hell, with barbecue burnings, tragic toddler scolding, and death by Austin, Cambridge.
Terrifying, isn't it? And that's only 4 gallons of petrol. You'll have double that amount or more in your holiday vehicle.
You know that we humans are characterised by 2 great fears that other animals are protected from. The fear of life and the fear of death.
Our fear of foreigners wasn't helped by this odd American animation, which screened in Christchurch in the 1960s. From the dawn of time, there's been one obsession that has troubled every civilization, from the Egyptians to the Moriori. We've long predicted it, and we've certainly always feared it. It's a monstrous, inconceivable thing, and it can be described in 2 words. The end.
What are you all going on for? You're all mad! We're all gonna die!
The end of the world, even as a concept, is something far beyond the normal range of human understanding.
Remarkably, in 1977, the government commissioned this film to help us prepare for the upcoming Armageddon, which would surely arrive well before the year 2000. It was believed that as news of the end of the world spread, law and order would quickly break down. The first victims would naturally be the traffic cops.
Fear takes over very easily.
This is a reminder of the one fear which unites us all in this, our Aotearoa, land of fear.
We need a great reset.
In fact, we entirely expect that people who are vaccinated will still get COVID-19.
It's at the end